Hey everyone, my name is Sean Cecil, and today I'm going to teach you how to figure out if you have a toxic boss. So let's imagine that you're at work and you don't have a good relationship with your boss. Is it them or is it you? Is this something where you just need to suck it up and make some changes yourself, or is this something where you need to find another place to work? Well, today I'm going to give you some signs that your boss is toxic and you need to get out of there. Sign number one, any kind of dishonesty, right? This may sound obvious, but a lot of times this happens in little ways that people don't really pay attention to, but that are red flags from the very beginning. So for example, if someone's sugarcoating things to protect their pride, or if they're saying something that everybody knows to be false, just because they want it to be that way. I think the term that some people use is gaslighting, where they just try to get other people to accept some reality because it's what makes them feel better. Even if it's in the little things, then if they're doing it in the little things, they're gonna do it in the big things, and eventually it's gonna become a problem. The second sign of a toxic boss is delusional optimism. So if your boss is constantly making these grand promises about everything that's gonna happen, and the massive bonus that you're gonna get, and all the profit that's gonna come flying in, and they're focused on all these great things, but none of it ever comes to fruition, and you've been there for a couple months, and they're saying these things and none of it's ever happening, then that's a problem, because that means either A, that your boss is disconnected from reality and you can't take anything they say at face value because they don't know what's going on because they're lying to themselves, or B, that they're intentionally lying to you to try to hold up some carrot to keep you going and keep you working hard, even though they're not going to be able to come through on it. Either way, whether they know what they're saying is false or they don't, you don't want to be in a situation where a boss is projecting delusional optimism. The third flag is if you're getting feedback that's radically different at different periods. So the way this will happen is one day your boss will come in and they'll give you all these compliments, they'll tell you you're great, they'll tell you how much value you add, they'll tell you how awesome you are, and then the next week they'll come in and they'll say all kinds of horrible things and they'll make you feel like you're stupid and they'll scream at you and all this kind of stuff. This kind of bipolar push-pull kind of dynamic is really psychologically dangerous because it activates these areas in the brain that creates this Pavlovian conditioning cycle where you're always trying to keep them happy because you want the pleasant boss, you don't want the pain boss. You want the boss who's nice, you don't want the boss who's mean. And what happens is when you have those oscillations, very often the reason that people are doing that is either A, because they don't have control of their emotions, which is going to bleed onto you and have you constantly walking on eggshells and cause changes to how you see yourself, right? Or B, that they're doing it in an attempt to control you. It's actually a very common habit of narcissistic personalities to give really outlandish feedback, both positive and negative, to try to get people hooked on their opinions. And that's something you absolutely want to avoid. And then finally, the fourth flag that you have a toxic boss is when you're given responsibility without autonomy. So this is where they give you a task to complete, but they don't give you the decision-making authority that you need to actually complete the task successfully. So they'll say that you need to, manage this project and produce this outcome, but when it comes to making major decisions about the project, they'll actually take the decision, right? They'll actually tell you, no, you have to do it this way. So in this way, they're retaining control because they're making all the calls, but you're the one who has to bear the blame if it goes wrong. This is a technique that's often used by people to try to cover their ass, right? Or in a situation where they don't have the ability internally to let themselves give that responsibility to someone else and they're trying to hold on to everything. But if that's the case, they won't hesitate to let you take the fall. So if you have responsibility without autonomy, you can't actually do your job and you're subject to forces that you can't control. And that's a situation that you want to get out of ASAP. So if you're seeing one or especially more than one of these signs, then you're in a situation where you have a toxic boss and it's time to make a change. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you want to learn more about career planning, getting out of a burnout job, or creating a career that truly fulfills you, then I've got a free comprehensive video laying out the process. All you need to do is go to the link below, www.oculusinstitute.com/workshop, and sign up to get access to the free presentation. See you on the other side.